Today we journey to the Garden Parish. There we'll get a tour of the newly renovated fishing village that has been designed using first world standards. Also, we highlight the work of JPs. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us.
Did you know that finding out your blood type can reduce your risk of getting the wrong blood type during emergency operations or surgeries? Let you know if you're at a higher risk for certain diseases, like knowing that persons with type AB, A and B blood have higher risks for blood clots. And if you have a rare blood type, you could decide to store your blood for future use so you don't have to wait hours or days to find a match. So what are you waiting for? Find out your blood type today. It can not only help to save your life, but also the lives of others.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 11. Government will be spending $80 million to acquire lands at key points across the island for the construction of 3 marine bases. The project is to help protect Jamaica's borders by curtailing illicit activities. The marine bases are to be located at Rocky Point in Clarendon, James Bond Beach, St. Mary, and Alligator Pond in St. Elizabeth. They'll be jointly established and operated by the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Customs Agency. Acting Director for Protective Security in the Ministry of National Security, Paul Henry, says the land acquisition process is underway. He emphasizes that the areas were chosen based on intelligence in relation to interdicting shipments of regular or high-security contraband. Mr. Henry says the marine bases will be used to deter, prevent, detect, and/or prosecute breaches of the Customs Act and other laws. In addition, he says the bases will be built in keeping with engineering specifications and standards of the National Environment and Planning Agency. The neediest of Jamaica's 7,000 registered coffee farmers are now able to access funds from a $60 million donation to the industry. On Monday, the Leachin family wired the personal one-off gift to implementing agency, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA. It will benefit mostly small coffee farmers and their families.
We are going to ensure that this $60 million is expended in the fairest, research-based, empirically research-based, most transparent way, where we target those who are most needy, not just as a giveaway, but as an opportunity to begin that turnaround in the productive capacity of this industry.
The donation complements work being done by RADA and the rest of the Agriculture Ministry to increase productivity and diversify markets for coffee. In addition, Portfolio Minister Audley Shaw will be attending an export expo in China to market Jamaican coffee. Speaking at another function, the Agriculture Minister announced that the Youth in Agriculture Policy and Implementation Plan has been completed and will be submitted to Cabinet shortly. Upon approval, the policy will be implemented over a 10-year period at a cost of approximately $400 million. Minister Shaw says the policy supports government's commitment to engage youth in all sectors of agriculture and fisheries for entrepreneurship and access to land. It also seeks to empower youth through leadership and enterprise development that will enable profitability, innovation, and environmental sustainability.
This policy seeks to create an enabling environment for youth to transition and invest in agriculture and fisheries sectors along the entire value chain.
Minister Shaw was speaking on Friday at a Youth in Agriculture Public Forum in Manchester. 83% of persons responding to a survey by the Heart Foundation of Jamaica strongly support policies on the provision of healthy food and beverages in schools. 78% also support prohibiting the sale of unhealthy food and drinks in school. The figures were released on Monday by the foundation from its Obesity Prevention Public Opinion Survey. Executive Director Deborah Chen says the public registered their support for a tax imposition on sugary drinks, with those persons agreeing for the tax to be used on programs to reduce obesity, especially among children.
We are not saying that sugary sweetened beverages is the only cause of obesity, But given that this is the largest contributor to sugar intake, we're starting at this point.
The survey shows that obesity is increasing for boys and girls in the 13 to 15 age group. The Obesity Prevention Public Opinion Survey also indicates that 9 out of 10 parents have agreed to reduce sugary drink consumption among their children. And Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says dialogue will continue with manufacturers who in principle are in support of the move by government to ban sugary drinks in schools as of January 2019.
I think it's key for the behavioral change that we seek to include all concerned. Because let's face it, this campaign, this public advocacy is not just about behavioral change for our children or teachers or vendors or policymakers. It's also about behavioral change for those who supply the goods that we would like to consume.
And finally, the Ministry of Health is reporting that 577,300 Jamaicans are obese. This figure was released in the 2016-2017 Jamaica Health and Lifestyle Survey 3. It also indicates that 1 in every 2 Jamaicans is either overweight or obese. The breakdown shows a higher rate among females across all age groups when compared with males. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the release of the data, along with ongoing public education through the Jamaica Moves campaign, will help to inform better lifestyle choices.
We have to now move it to the next level. We have to become more assertive in our position. We have to speak with confidence about what we're doing. We have to be prepared to engage those who have a different opinion and be prepared to take on our own opinion and to find common ground guided by the health and wellness fundamentals. And so in the coming year, you're going to see more stepped up advocacy supported by policy and partnerships in order to move this process forward.
Minister Tufton was speaking on Monday at the release of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica Obesity Prevention Campaign Survey. And that's it for JI's News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
I'm deeply concerned by the number of Jamaicans killed on our roads. Safety on our roads is our responsibility. Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down. Observe the rules of the road. Be courteous. Drive defensively. Be considerate. Buckle up. Wear a helmet. The careless overtaker is only rushing to the undertaker. Not observing the rules of the road could cost you your life and that of your loved ones. I encourage all road users to take special care as we use public thoroughfares. The life you save may be your own. Remember, your family wants you to arrive alive.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in Barbados last week, attending a Caribbean Single Market Economy meeting. For more on his trip, watch this.
Prime Minister renews drive for CSME implementation, meets with members of Petrojam Review Committee, and
Ms. Lou was the icon, the representation of our culture globally.
You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was among scores of persons who gathered at Gordon Town Square in St. Andrew Friday to unveil a life-size bronze statue of late cultural icon Louise Bennett Coverley. Miss Lou, as she was affectionately called, would have celebrated her 99th birthday at the time. Describing her as the perfect cultural ambassador, Prime Minister Holness said she was the first Jamaican to bring our language to the world stage, and doing so while mastering the English language.
The language was not baseless, because the Jamaican people used the language to express our own philosophical outlook on life. We use the language to create music that is soothing, that is uplifting, music that people want to embrace and be a part of.
Prime Minister Holness also expressed hope that the statue, mixed with plans to give Gordontown a facelift, will increase the area's prospects as a community tourism site.
We are doing what is necessary to tap our culture, to get the economic value of our culture. Very soon, we will be making Kingston a port of call for cruise shipping. We will be returning cruise ships to Port Royal and to Victoria Pier. We are working very hard to make Kingston a port of call. And the tourists will want to not just come and see Bob Marley's statue and the Institute of Jamaica and all the other places. They are going to come right here in Gordontown.
Earlier in the week, Mr. Holness was in Barbados to participate in the 9th meeting of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME. There, he and other CARICOM members renewed their commitment to tackling critical issues affecting the full implementation of the CSME. At the follow-up meeting to July's CARICOM conference in Montego Bay, regional leaders discussed the free movement of persons, skills, services and establishment. Contingent rights, labour, travel facilitation and the role of the private sector were also covered in Wednesday's meeting. Prime Minister Holness, who is the chairman of CARICOM, urged member states to move forward with the agreements reached. He also encouraged regional leaders to ensure that frameworks were in place to consistently monitor implementation of those commitments. Before leaving for Barbados, Mr. Holness held a meeting with the newly formed Petrojam Review Committee. The Chris Zaka-led team will conduct a strategic review of the operations of the state-owned oil refinery. Findings of that strategic review are expected in 4 months' time and will assist the government in deciding the way forward for Petrojam. Tuesday also saw Mr. Holness meeting with a couple who celebrated their 101st visit to the island. Fred and Cynthia Pennycamp have been visiting Jamaica for 36 years. They will return next month to celebrate their 50th anniversary. And the Prime Minister Holness closed out his meetings at Jamaica House Tuesday with representatives from Red Stripe. Led by CEO Ricardo Nuncio, the delegation discussed plans for Red Stripe's 100th anniversary celebrations this year. And the Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging persons to access rewards by sharing what they know with the police through channels such as Crime Stop. The Prime Minister's latest call follows the August 23 murder of 14-year-old Yatania Francis in Arnold Gardens, St. Andrew. To aid in the capture of Yatania's killers, money has been set aside to incentivize information sharing on child murderers, molesters and traffickers. The money is to come from the $100 million Get the Guns campaign fund. When he met with the family recently, Prime Minister Holness relayed the police resolve to ensure justice is served. He used the meeting to personally donate $200,000 to assist with funeral expenses. Mr. Holness also committed $100,000 of his personal funds to Crime Stop. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for more news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Protect Jamaica, plant your grass. Help us become more resilient to climate change impacts. Protect Jamaica, plant a tree. It improves the island's national biodiversity. Trees may be fruit, ornamental or timber, but must be native or suitable to the area's natural landscape. Join the Jamaica Million Tree campaign and help to plant 1 million trees by June 30, 2019. This is a call to action by the National Environment and Planning Agency.
The Oterias Fishing Village was recently renovated and it boasts a number of amenities. Let's journey to the tourism town of St. Anne to find out more.
For many years, one of the major complaints they had was that the fishing village was unsightly.
Fast forward to today. The newly renovated Oterias Fishing Village in St. Anne is now open and a dream come true.
fishing village is the location for the fishers in Ocho Rios. They were here when there were no hotels on Ocho Rios. They had the full run of the beach. The fishing village was also a location where those fishermen who were paid remain now, plied their trade. And their descendants also had their little vending operations going on here. It was also a place where Jamaicans, people from Ocho Rios, came to buy their fresh fish.
The village now serves as an attraction and cultural melting pot to both tourists and locals.
Today is a great day. The fishermen are here to work. They're here to get the job done. They're here to sell a lot of lobster and fish and bami, because it's all about fisherman food. It's not about stuff that have no bearing on fisherman. They are going to bring their culture to us, right, Fisherman Dave? They're going to bring their culture to the people. They're going to cater to locals alike. They're going to cater to foreigners. They're going to show you what an escovitch fish is all about. They're going to show you what makes us a true people.
Built by the Port Authority of Jamaica in collaboration with the Urban Development Corporation, the complex has 18 shops for craft, gift and convenience stores, bars and restaurants, among other things. The village also features an entertainment area and a lounge for fisherfolk.
My sincere thanks to the UDC and the Port Authority of Jamaica. As mandated, you are in the business of geophysical development. But beyond that, and more importantly, and for which recognition must be given, is your contribution to the social and economic transformation of Ocho Rios. The Ocho Rios Fishing Village complex, with the transformational impact that it will have, again lays the foundation for new opportunities. It will unlock our potential as a town and unleash the creativity and determination of our fisherfolk.
This is all about creating a facility that embraces fisheries, industry and commerce, and tourism. This is a manifestation of the level of collaboration and cooperation that we need to move tourism forward, and indeed all the attendant support systems that make people want to come here, stay here, spend their money with us, and interact with our people.
We are coming from the old Fisherman Beach, where we never used to have much facilities like bathroom, like, proper facilities for the beach. Well, thanks to Port Authority, and some great people, Jamaica Tourist Board and lots more, we have a new and improved Fisherman's Beach right now.
Well, the beach wasn't that beautiful. Now they enhanced it by these pretty shops, but it's good to see local in the shop. So that's beautiful, and we love development here at the Fisherman Beach.
There's absolutely nothing simple about a fisherman. They are an incredible set of people who endure bad weather, who endanger their lives at times, very frequently, who has a sense of resilience and a sense of ambition, and a desire to elevate themselves. And thank God today, the government of Jamaica has facilitated all that is required of them to move on and make successes, not only of their immediate profession, but in business at this location.
This place is a dream, and we're going to keep it a dream. And it's a reality that we guys have dreamt for years, and it's now pay off.
We are children and we have rights. We have a right to be
protected,
provided for,
and included.
Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living.
That is child labor. It is illegal.
Start leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
Justices of the Peace, JPs, help to maintain law and order. Their role in the administration of justice was recently expanded. See now if you're qualified to become a JP.
When you offer your service across Jamaica, it is absolutely important for you to be fair-minded. Ensure that fair play at all times is displayed, a person dispensing justice, ensuring that peace is maintained across Jamaica. To assist in solving the many, many problems that we are encountering in Jamaica.
We see them all over the country. We know their names. We employ their services for signing important documents, among other things. But do we know the extent of their functions, or how one even becomes a justice of the peace? Come, watch as we open the gates to the historical peacekeepers of our nation.
I'm appointed through the Ministry of Justice, and as a JP, you have to be very, very confidential. So people can come to you and they can confide in you with whatever, and you can be that person that they can talk to. You have to be a person of integrity, a person who is an unquestionable background.
You're joining a vocation that has been in existence and started from the 12th century. From 1195, the king, known as King the Lion-Hearted, said to the knights, we need distinguished persons to operate in boroughs, communities, right across England. So find some persons who can keep the peace. From 1195, over 800 years ago, persons who were appointed were known as keepers of the peace. It was only in the 14th century that the term justice of the peace became the JP that you are now.
Ministry of Justice call us peacekeeper, and people do call us peacekeeper because we do keep the peace. Some of our duties that I perform, I witness documents for people, I do recommendations for some of the youths who want a job. I also do recommendations for persons who want to be surety to bail another person. So there are multiple things that I do as a justice of the peace.
The role of a JP is a voluntary one. So these officers are not to accept cash or any form of reward for the work done in their capacity as JPs.
It's something that you will do out of your heart. You have to do it as a person. You have to do it as a Jamaican. You have to love your country. And I believe that we have to stop asking the question what our country can do for us and to want to help to change our country, to change the justice system.
From there, the steps to become a justice of the peace are fairly simple. You must be a Jamaican citizen residing in the country during the time of appointment. You must be able to read and speak English fluently. You must be able to communicate and interact at all levels with all types of people. You must be a person of undeniable integrity who commands the respect of the local community. And you must be a person who has offered voluntary service to the community and the country by extension, while indicating the potential for continued service. But always remember, as a JP, you're offering a very valuable service to your country.
It's a fulfilling job, but it's also a tiring one. So I want to say to fellow justice of the peace out there, please, do it for the love. As what they say, do it for the love, not for the likes. You understand me? Make sure you're doing your job correctly. You signed up for a position to help people, help people.
Even though a trough is likely for the island next week, tomorrow will be perfect for beachgoers. So expect bright sunshine and clear skies all day.
Yeah, right. Like how yesterday, Una tell me say it's a bright and pretty. I wash my clothes and a pure rainfall. I'll know them not dry.
And today, we want to hear from you, our viewers. So call us now to get your weather questions answered.
Yeah, man, me go now call.
And we have a call online now. What is your question?
How comes you tell me that today I got bright and pretty and a pure rainfall in my community?
It's not as simple as you might think to predict weather with full accuracy. To provide a forecast, we measure and assess current atmospheric conditions over various areas and compare that to previous observations. This allows us to have a general idea of what conditions to expect in a particular area. Rainfall, however, can be difficult to forecast, especially for small areas. From our analyses and observations, we can know that conditions will be ideal for rainfall, and we have a good idea of the general region where rain is likely, but it is sometimes difficult to give that precise location.
Oh, so you're saying even though you can't tell me it will rain in my town, you can't necessarily tell me it will rain in my little district?
You've got it.
Oh, wait, I have another question. But you're not talking about one system where going to affect the island. Where next week? When you think it's so early, we need to know about that?
When it comes to telling the public about severe weather, the nature of the system determines how soon we start to share that information. For systems like tropical wave or a trough that may produce severe weather, advisories are issued 2 to 3 days before a system is forecasted to affect our area. For tropical cyclones such as hurricanes, advisories are issued once a system is expected to be formed within 48 hours, even if it will not affect Jamaica.
You know what else me always want to know? The Met Office and OPM, them do the same thing?
No. The Met Service is responsible for monitoring the weather conditions over the island and territorial waters and issuing reliable and timely weather services. OPM, which stands for the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, is responsible for maintaining a state of national preparedness for all types of disasters. When the system that could cause a disaster is a weather phenomenon, the Met Service monitors the progress to forecast and to determine the extent of the weather conditions.
You know, I never know there's so much things the Met Service do, and that weather forecasting is so complicated.
Yes, it is. And if you have more questions in the future, please feel free to contact the Met Service.
Sunshine Jamaica, my blessed Jamaica, mighty one, oh, I bless our land always, for strength and no vigor, with love and no courage, oh, yeah. So let's remind ourselves and tell the world hello, hello, I'm a Jamaican, we are Jamaicans, hello, hello, I'm a Jamaican.
This is where the magazine closes for today. For a lineup like you just saw, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our website and other social media platforms to stay in the know on matters of national importance. And of course, you can join us daily on the station for the latest installment of Jamaica Magazine. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, thank you for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.